pretty much copied more so a sheet from the Consequence YouTube videos that the GM made, just for us to have, and we can go over it as we do fights. I started writing it out and realized it was going to be too much writing, so then I took snipping tools of every single thing they wrote and just pasted it, and so that's what we're gonna use. Everything Mythic is put out onto here, but this will be good going into fights if you guys have questions about, like, to yourself more so, like, when does the boss push, or what's the plan, or, you know, what does this mechanic do, or what's the mythic change, because they're all highlighted. Excuse me, so you guys can definitely use that. The main thing when you go through each one of these tabs, this is all located in the 10.1 section as well under important documents. I posted a little picture of the ready check pull because they do a good breakdown of fights. And I posted 3 different VODs you guys can watch if you'd like. The ready check pull, which is short and sweet. The consequence video that they generally refer to when they PTR tested it. And then the in-depth video, or the more in-depth video that GM goes through. I don't expect you to watch all 3 by any means. Just watch whatever you feel you need and go from there. The consequence guy also linked a raid plan for everyone, and that's sort of the raid plan and strats that we're going to be doing, I think, in week 1, minus anything extreme. He does put mythic stuff into these, and a lot of the strat is to sort of practice mythic positioning a little bit. So we're going to be taking that into account too, and I think that's our plan going to be going into it. So we may not be doing necessarily the easiest strat positionally wise, but it'll make more sense so we don't have to like change up our whole strat from heroic to mythic as we get into fights. And it's more minor DPS losses that just won't matter on heroic, I don't think. So everything's been broken down up to the last boss, Sarkareth. 24 fucking abilities on this boss. Doubt we'll get to kill this boss this week. So we're not going to plan around that. So we're going to plan for the first 8, right? I think there's 9. So we'll plan for the first 8 to knock out this week and go from there. Sorry? On Mythic, yeah. You got it. Yeah. We saved the last boss on Mythic for next week. Yeah, there's literally nothing on this. So I'll update this Sarkareth one more as well when there's any information available. There's literally nothing right now, and so we'll know more starting. I don't even know if we'll know more tomorrow. I guess we'll see what the Race of World First guilds do in terms of getting there and killing it. Probably not. Probably not tomorrow would be my guess. They're probably going to do everything else on their 6 other alts, whatever they have. So figure that out. But yeah, so one thing is general notes. Every general note says what the type of fight is. There's lots of pure single target fights, and lots of mid pure single target fights as well. Thank you. It'll tell you generally when we lust or when we're thinking of lusting. This will all be determined by really the Race to World First, because there's a lot that are like lust P2. There's another one somewhere in here that's also a lust of P2. Can't even remember where it is. But don't know if we're going to end up doing that or not, because it kind of feels bad, or it looks like it'll feel bad, but whatever helps us push and kill the fight, we'll do in the end. But yeah, I'll just bang out some quick VODs real quick, so you guys ask any questions if you see anything in the quick overviews. Most of the fights are pretty straightforward, and we'll have a good idea. And just before we start that, my plan is tomorrow for Tuesday is to do the first 3 on normal, and that's it. So if we can get at least 10 of us together to knock out the first 3 bosses on normal, we won't do any tier bosses, but we'll see those, so we can get together and do those. And then we'll do the rest of normal, well, minus Sarkareth, and then heroic on Wednesday. And then, depending where our time where we end on that, maybe we'll do the first couple of mythic to try and get vault slots or something. I don't know. Haven't quite thought that far ahead. We'll have to see how Wednesday goes and how we feel Monday's going to go after that. But that's our plan. And one more thing, actually, that Homo brought up that she thought would be a neat idea that I'm going to try and do. So she voiced that there could be some people, herself included, that would like to maybe give a little bit more input in terms of like coming up with strategies and just talking logs and stuff together, more so brainstorming and less about leading when we're going into fights and stuff like that. So I'll try, and when I'm sitting down to go over things myself, just sitting at the computer by myself, I'll try and just like make posts in Discord. So if anyone wants to join and, you know, dive logs with me or dive strats or whatever, that'll be available. So if you're into that sort of stuff, I guess I'll just make a separate channel or something, and you can always join me for that if you're interested. No pressure. I can always do it by myself as well. Does not bother me. So, but yeah, okay. So let's do this. So Khazra is the most simple fight. I don't know which one I want to watch here. Most simple fight in the raid. There is main things to note of a dragon fight is there is no tail swipe, so you can stand wherever you want on the boss. And we're going to do the raid plan like such. So the reason we're doing this is every time you put down shit on the ground, we'll see little circles come out. They drop puddles. Is that them? Yeah, they did. So these circles come out right here. Oh, I don't even know if I'm on the right fucking thing for you guys. Am I? Fuck, how do I check the quality of this Discord stream? 1 sec. Quality.
Okay,
1440.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yes.
Alright, here, it should. Let me know. I bumped it down to 1080 and 30. That should fix it. I didn't mean to do the 1440. Hopefully that catches up. And we'll do this slow. So there's circles come out. These will just go to the whole idea is these circles come out. They go to the right hand side of the main group, and then the main group will move left. And the reason we do that is there's a beam that comes out right after these. Or you'll see, actually, sorry. So these circles go down somewhere in the back, and then our group stands here to the left of it. These guys are technically in the wrong spot. This probably isn't going to matter much for Heroic for what it's worth, so I won't really care that much. But the main reason is there'll be a beam that comes out that gets locked on players, and you have to kite your beam through the puddle in order to remove the puddle. Once these beams are selected on players, be nice if there were any timers. I think it's these Rays of Anguish. Yep. So it's Rays of Anguish, so these get targeted on players. So these players now have to kite these beams into this. Right after these rays come out, there's a breath from the boss. So the whole raid, when these beams come out, have to move a little bit to the left, so that we therefore bait the breath not where these guys are going. Does that make sense? Does anyone have questions on that? It's very, very simple. The raid moves left, so these guys technically baited in a fine spot because they're past where the beams have to go, so it doesn't matter. But if you were standing like in line with these puddles, it would be really bad because you would kill people with the beam or just make it more difficult for them. But that's it. So the whole fight, we just go around the whole boss like that. Does anyone have any questions or comments or concerns about this guy? No big deal if you don't. It's a pretty simple one. But yeah, no tail swipe, so you can position yourself anywhere on the boss. There's some tank mechanic on this fight, don't know what it is. But hopefully Lyric and...
It's a frontal breath, so they just need to make sure it doesn't hit us.
Yeah, it just doesn't
no,
stack.
sorry, that's the next boss I lied.
No,
Yeah.
this one's just a tank frontal or a tank attack.
There you go, yeah. Yeah, so it's the same thing. So beams should come out here, rays of something. Here they come. This whole group should rotate left. This guy's boosted because if he baits breath, he kills his friends. Yeah. So, kind of works like that. Yeah, so then you just go out of the breath and then you rotate back. It's a little bit like has a little bit of a Taros feel, I feel, from the the smash. You go left and then back right. It's kind of going to feel a lot like Taros, I think. But this fight should just fall over, so should be free. Cool. One fight down, a few more to go. So amalgamation is the eye. Is it the eye? Is that what they call it on SOD? The little.
Yeah, Eye of the Jailer.
Yeah, Eye of the Jailer. Oh, this is the one I wanted, sorry. So this is Eye of the Jailer. So two eyes split on opposite side of the rooms. And we'll just split the raid. If you ever get to... So a little bit things that are different. If you ever get too high stacks, you can literally just walk to the other side of the room. And you'll notice that if you open this raid plan, because you're like, oh, what are we going to do for this fight? These marks in the middle are actually going to be for Mythic. So he kind of broke it down here. Swapping sides will just drop debuff, which is what you're going to do. And then Mythic, you'll clear stacks and groups on assigned markers between boss meteor hits. So that's here. Don't really worry about that too much now, but that's exactly what we're going to be doing. The whole idea is you just split them and do the mechanics. You guys can read what they do here. I'm not really going to go into it. I guess I can. Just outer side, avoid players with purple circles around them. Run away from big circle on boss. Dodge orbs. Fire side, there's a stack mechanic on the tank. Yeah, single soak the little circles. Oh, and there's a little circles that spawn. So fire side you soak, purple side you don't, pretty much. Have to push these bosses at the same time, same as the eye. Well, not really same as eye, but the eye in intermission, when there were 2 ads, you wanted to kill them at the same time. Boss faces at 50%, so you want them to be as close to 50% as possible when they combined. That's it. If you ever get, this is a ramping dot, it'll eventually be unhealable. No idea what attack or when you'll switch. They do switch at one point in this video. We can put on actually a little bit faster speed. That's maybe too fast. That's just, I think it's like 15 they said. I don't know. Do it here. So it looks like it's 6, 7 stacks. This guy switched over. Oop. That's it. Cool. That's pretty simple. You just do P1. This shouldn't be much of an issue. That's it. Fire circles and dodge. So in P2, you'll see they hit 50%.
Do they just have their DK, their AMS single solo?
You can, yeah. Yeah, and you can also have immunes help you and APTs help you. That'll be more of a mythic thing, I think, though, than it will be a heroic thing. But yeah, so pretty much when he combines, he does both mechanics of both. So it's as if you're fighting both things on top of each other. These just go out to the walls and spawn tornadoes, same as that one fight in the Mythic Plus dungeon. This is a soak, and it just drops an orb, you suck, and you run away. And I think they just rotate around the room from here. I'm pretty sure that's the entire thing. So yeah, just same mechanics, only one person in these, but shouldn't be much of an awful thing. Don't have any questions or concerns? This guy, again, we're going to see all these on normal first, so hopefully everyone's around for at least, well, maybe not. This will be the Tuesday one, I think. I don't think this guy drops tier, but at least get a sense of it on normal. And then we'll go into the heroic on Wednesday, but this one shouldn't be too difficult.
This is the one that has the tank frontal.
What am I doing?
I saw.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question? Yeah.
I think on Mythic, is there a certain amount of people that have to soak the big meat? One person
Yes, there is a certain amount. It's. I think I have to mute Sai. Yeah, I think it's 5, as Bull was saying. And I believe this isn't the fight where you can't use immunities, right? There is a fight where you cannot use immunity. No, that's not this one. That's the one with all the ads.
Yeah, it looks like you can use immunities, but I think you just need the minimum.
Yeah, and this will be a fight I think where you also you can run like APT and stuff on Mythic when you get there, but I guess I don't know whether this will be the second Mythic boss or the other one, but it shouldn't be too bad. This is all just, this reminds me a lot of that one Mythic Plus dungeon where they have 2 bosses and they jump around and throw winds out. The majority of this fight, but we'll just work our way around the whole room. And yeah, drop zones. So it's sort of like the 9-ish type feel, except yeah, that's really it. Oh, Mythic, try and split void on left, fire on right, clear aggressively 4 to 6. Not during damage overlaps. Heroic stand anywhere. Pog. That's what we're doing. Cool. Anyone else have any other questions? Awesome. Experiments. So notes, Heroic is burst AoE on add, single targeting the boss. Heroic probably lost on second boss. This is the triple boss one, right? Oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
It is? Oh yeah, this is. So this is, yeah, I think this one might actually be quite difficult from the sounds of it, based on what I saw.
Yep, that's the one that has the, you can't clear debuffs once the second ad comes out.
The fuck is this? Fine, okay. Sick VOD. Oh, it's not gonna work for me. Okay, we'll just go over the ready check pull ones. I don't know what's up with that. So the harder side of this one, based on what if you watch the GM version of this, does look like the second boss. It's 3 different bosses, sort of like the dance bosses, a little bit on Castle Nathria, if you played those bosses. In terms of that, you start with 1 boss. In Mythic, you'll have 2 bosses at once. Once the first boss hits 50%. In Heroic, you only fight 1 boss at a time. I think. Pretty sure that's right. At least, if I
Yeah, it's a
remember.
council.
Yeah. Do. But yeah, so this is the guy. You drop circles on the left, right here. You put it in a nice. Oh yeah. So this is exactly what we're gonna do actually. And so the whole idea is there's a little charge mechanic. They'll put fucking marks on your head, and you'll just make a triangle. We can just put it off to the side. Think of this like SLG with the glaives that came out. Same sort of mechanic. It'll put a debuff on you that I think might last forever. Don't remember. I think it can be bopped off. But it'll dash to all 3 and then back originate to its original position. You can't get hit by it. If you stack on top of each other, it's like a double stack. Don't do that. Yep, we did that. Yep. Kill the first boss because this is heroic. Normally, if you're on Mythic, there'd be a 50% a second boss comes down. We won't have that. So P2 is our second ad. Right? You don't fight 2 in heroic, right? I'm not boosted on that.
No, it's one at a
Okay.
time.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah. So this is the OP Master spell. So this is a chef and our double pre-sealers will be great on this.
Okay, dude.
Oh yeah. Sorry, not chefs. The doubles. That's rough, dude. I don't even remember who you are anymore.
That's toxic.
Hey, my imp could dispel 1.
So your imp could I mean, it would be good for the first one, but I guess you won't have an imp, so. So this fight is actually kind of interesting. For this this is a really bad raid plan. I don't think they use this raid plan anymore. I'm actually going to pull up their VOD because they did this a couple different ways in terms of managing this this mechanic, and he came up with a sort of different. Am I on the wrong fight? Oh, it's experiments. This is the wrong fight.
That's amalgamation.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I didn't.
That
Oh,
vibe was
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't copy and paste it properly. Experiments. Here we go. Yes, here's our second boss. So, second boss comes out, and it'll put this debuff on people. Let's see if we can see it. Oh, that's the dash. Don't stand on people. It puts a debuff on you. I already know this. I already went over this. Where is my debuffs?
Wow. Nerf
Is it this guy? Nerf Windwalker? Yeah, true.
true.
This is the mythic one, so you'll see 2 at once. We won't get this, but they're going to hero this boss here. And I believe this, because this happened, this initiates P2, which means there should be a debuff coming out on a player. It's really the most important part of this fight that you really just need to pay attention to. Come on. There it is. This guy has a debuff. You see this? It's 3 stacks. It stacks, I believe, every second. It does ticking damage. It ramps. Think of it. There was a buff like that on SLG. It was before we got there on it, if you were around then. But like you would have to sacrifice someone for this. So the way this works is what they tried is they take this person out. They kept the boss in the middle, and they dispel it. When you dispel it, a circle will spawn around the player, like this. No, I haven't dispelled it yet. Wait. He should be going out for a dispel. 11. He goes over here towards red. I think. Yep, there he goes. He gets dispelled. Boom. And this big fucking circle comes out. Don't stand in it. It does damage. So they position the boss off of it, which is good for boss uptime. But when the circle pops, you'll notice right here. Boom. If you're don't be in it, it does damage. You then have to kill this ad before its cast goes off. This cast right here. So this gentleman from Consequence thinks that you tank the boss in the middle, you drop the orb in the middle, everyone runs out and then goes back in. Which kind of sounds boosted because then everyone's off the boss instead of one person off the boss. So then why wouldn't you move the boss as a whole unit? I don't know. I think it makes more sense.
Moving the boss is way easier.
Well, yes. So the reason why, so actually the reason he said why he thinks keeping the middle's better is so you can handle everything else that's going on. Won't be as much of an issue in heroic, but you saw those things on the ground, and everything. But when you dispel this spawns. Okay, pretty simple. But you'll notice it's now split to 2 other players, so it duplicates every time you dispel it until this boss is dead, and then it will ramp on 2 targets. So then you're going to dispel. It's going to go to 4 targets, and then there'll be 2 ads that spawn into 4 ads that spawn into 8 ads that spawn. And this is why mass dispel, you want to group these, this is why mass dispel is very important on this fight. I don't know if this should tell me actually, if there's a dispel range for this. Charge.
What do you mean?
Doesn't say. Like once you get dispelled, if you pulse like an 8 yards around you, or if it's just the orb that drops. Don't
From what I
remember.
saw, people, they're not like pixel stack, but you just kind of make a triangle so that people can AoE.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the idea is to keep them close together. I just wasn't sure how close you were actually able to be. Anyway, you got to keep killing these. And then that's... Yeah, you can't pixel stack. There you go. And this is why you keep him in the middle. So I don't know if it was Lyric who was chatting or what, but all this shit's going on. So if you sort of put them all off to the side, it can make it harder to get around. So that's why he thought keeping in the middle, just using probably a roar to go in and go out, because the time at which it takes for them to explode after they're dispelled was not a very long time. We can sort of judge how long it is here, because I'm not on any faster speed.
It's a duplicate, or it's just doing one more every time?
It doubles. So now there were 2 there, now there should be 4 out.
Because I just see
1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe no. It should give you 1. It should give you 4.
I thought it didn't jump.
It does jump. Yep.
It jumps, but I think the boss just continuously puts out more as the phase goes on.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't split. Okay.
Duplicate, like you do it 3 times and then.
Well, that was the whole reason why you heroed this phase, I think, is to get through this. This is. Yeah, this definitely seems like the hardest boss, and it's a tough healing check, and it's a movement check. This actually seems like it could be a relatively fun fight. Also, if you die with this mechanic, it immediately drops. You don't just lose the debuff. So that's why this is really bad when this happens. If these people randomly died, now you have ads in fucking Narnia, and there's no way you're going to be able to cleave them down in time. And this is where it gets fucking chaotic, and why he thinks keeping in the middle will be better. Don't know. Kind of split on that decision making, to be honest.
I can see where he's coming from. If all those come on the side, there's no room to go anywhere.
Exactly. That's
it. Gaps. At least there's gaps in the middle.
Yeah, that was his rationale, but
That's fair.
In worst case, you could, like, there's a circle in the center of the room. Like, you could put the bus in like one side and the bombs like just on the other side of the circle.
Yeah, so if you put them right, you put like the bombs right here, right? And then you come out a little bit. Yeah. You can definitely min-match your positioning a little bit better, but just you don't want to pigeonhole yourself and cut your rate in half, I think is the idea on the edge.
Can you pre-immune the extra stacks?
If you immune it, it'll drop your debuff, right? And then...
No, he means like, yeah, like pre-cloak it or pre...
Oh.
And hope that it goes on you, kind of like
I guess you probably... I don't know. I don't know if that's been tested.
Maybe it will just target somebody else if it does.
It's possible that you could, but I think the dispel's going to come out too frequent that you really wouldn't plan for it. But like maybe on the last dispel stack you would, right? Sort of like was that a Nerva? Right, you could pre-immune something. I don't even remember what it was. It just said immune on your screen. Yeah. So, not sure. Yeah, if you want to worry, you could reflect it. Yeah. But yeah, you see if you die, these get out of control. So this was a mythic POV. If you do watch this, because they have 2 bosses, we'll only have 1. But that should be it. Is there only? Oh, there's only. I feel like isn't there 3 bosses on this fight? I feel like I'm missing one. Or is there only 2?
There's a fucking evoker at the end.
Oh yeah, deep breath. Fire breath across the room. Oh. Yeah, so you actually don't see it in this VOD, so I can't show it to you. It never went off. Maybe they'll show us in the this guide. Face tree. Yeah, so they're doing it what you just said, Barry. That's a good idea for that. Let's see. I just want to see the breath. The fuck is this? Oh, soak these, I guess. Don't even know what that
It's
is.
the one where you gotta keep bouncing it back.
Oh, it's a soccer ball or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they changed it.
No, here it is. Deep breath. This is it. So he'll go across the middle. Don't get by that. Okay? If you're a bad beam player, this is your chance to not be a bad, or not a breath player. This is
Wait,
chance to
You guys are
redeem
just
yourself.
prepped for this.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you come back 10 or 15 seconds?
Yeah. You want to see the orbs?
Yeah, no, yeah, just a bit more later. You will see, like, because he jumped back, right? Towards the middle of the wall.
Yeah.
And so this guy will push the ball back towards him, like there.
Yeah, that's a bad boop, right?
Yeah, but then he jump and then the balls hit him, right?
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that we don't push the ball towards the center of the wall, I presume.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't absorb that ball, though, right? I don't know what this ball actually does, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
If
So.
it hits the boss, it puts a shield on the boss, like 20%. It's fucking crazy.
Oh, huge shield? Okay. It's weird that it looked like it should have hit him, though, right?
Yeah.
When he's
Probably
jumping
'cause he's
back
doing
for the
deep
breath.
Oh, he doesn't count if he's
I
jumping?
mean, probably not.
Is he
that'd be
immune?
stupid.
Because, like, it should hit him right here for sure, and it boops off him almost.
Maybe it's just like a feature. But
Maybe they don't have a
Great
Z-
feature.
yeah, Z-axis.
But then obviously melee just come in and just boop it the fuck away, and then range can take over, and more
You can't-
dispels happening.
You can't bop it twice.
Oh, you can't boop it twice, you get a debuff?
Yeah, you get a stacking debuff, yeah.
That's
I
a
mean,
mythic
maybe you can
thing,
do
I
it
think.
twice.
Maybe that's a mythic thing, eh?
Yeah, I
That-
think it's mythic where you have to rotate boopers.
Okay.
yeah, he didn't get one here when he booped. We'll see just to make sure here, but he would get it right there.
I was gonna say he does.
Oh, yeah, he does 20 seconds. But he boops it twice.
The thought I have of that boss, that
I don't think that was that, dude.
ball is
No,
so much more
That's
tough.
not it, because everyone got this debuff.
That's
So-
just the AoE dot, I think.
Yeah, so you can't boop it twice. I don't even know if this is heroic. This might be normal, so. But it doesn't mention it. We'll figure that out. The first guy will figure it out for us. Fuck.
Yeah, in the dungeon journal, it says a temporal fracture is the mythic mechanic, and that's when you boop the ball, you can't boop it again for 20 seconds.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Yeah, but the main thing about this entire fight is this P2 portion, which is dropping the shit in a good spot. I don't think, does this go away on this phase? It didn't, right? No. It stays the whole fight. Look, I think every mechanic stays the rest of the fight. Not sure how accurate that is.
Not every mechanic. There's one from the first boss and one from the second boss.
But this is one, oh, maybe it resets when you start that new boss then. Because this is, oh no, that was just a random dispel? I don't know. I don't know what those circles are. Just dots the timeout, I think. Yeah, they just, oh, disintegrate. Okay. Cool. So P2, that'll be the hardest one on this boss. Alright, let's get on that. That one took us a while. Let's get to the next one. Okay, this fight. We're splitting our raid in two. This is like the eye again. One group will be left side, one group will be right side for the first half of the fight. We'll split them up prior to getting into it. It won't be too difficult. This is an AoE pad fight. I have it written here. Tons of AoE. Yeah, blessing on double mystic is probably best since all you do is using the boss at the pull. Whatever. So you do damage to the boss at the beginning. I don't really remember when he phases. I don't know if it's timed or what. But it looks like it's pretty early.
It's a time thing.
Yeah, it's a time thing, yeah. Okay. So then he'll switch, the boss switches between sides. The boss is always active in this fight, but he'll pick a side. There's a kill order for these, pretty much. Look, fire shield again that we have to break, like Raz. And that'll just be, the kill is right here, so you miss, it's supposed to be Mystic, I think, till shield breaks, guards, huntsmen, and wall climbers. There's one important mechanic to this fight that isn't just like Zug, because here's just Zug. Break this shield, and I believe it's an interrupt. Literally the exact same as Razageth. Boom. Broke the shield. Now you just cleave. Oh, excuse me. Cleave off the highest prio, which is then guards. There's no. Is this a guard? No, that's the boss. That's the boss. Now you cleave off the boss onto these heads. Shield never comes back. You never focus this guy down again, so you cleave off boss. There will be little rocks that are dropped. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. Doop-doop-doo. Rocks, okay? This guy actually picked up a rock. This rock. So you walk over this rock and you can pick it up. Okay? So you're going to pick up this rock. And then you can do something kind of neat with it. So there's markers down to show where ads are coming up. And you can look over this side. He doesn't actually look. He just threw it off. But you can see ads are climbing up these walls, sort of like Lord of the Rings style. And throwing these rocks over will knock them off the walls. There's more important ads than others, like guards climb up these walls and wall climbers. I think they all climb up the walls. So you can sort of outplay it a little bit. Boss face is at 65%. You keep doing this the entire time. And I'll show you, there's one point in this VOD where he is quite clutch with his rock pickup.
Sorry, but the rock spawn when you smash and you don't
Yeah.
have to look at the wall because there's the beam of light that tells that an ad is coming.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the beam of light shows you what ads, but you can also peek to see which ad because ads will come at the same time. And I actually think it's this one right here. He holds this rock for a really long fucking time. And he's peeking, and he's peeking, and he's peeking, and he's peeking, and he's super fucking clutch here. So he peeks, and there's a guard here, because this is like the second most dangerous ad, minus the shield ad, and he manages to hit this, and whatever's below it, there's something below it, I have no idea what it is, but he knocks those down, and that's super clutch for this side. So we probably won't have to overthink this on normal or even heroic too much, but as long as we get rocks over the edge, but it's not bad to also hold a rock if there's nothing to boop. So make sure you look for those beams that Barry was just talking about. Other than that, we just kill mystics, cleave off guards, cleave off boss, and boss is here. Mystic shield pry over everything. Boss at 65%. We go back to the middle. This is a bugged ad. This shouldn't happen, so don't worry about that. Well, unless it bugs, then we'll have to kill it. These just follow your... Huh?
You just tag it and it comes back.
Okay, they fixed it. Okay, cool. Those just kite around, and this is what's it called? Sun King ads. Slow them, kill them, doesn't matter. This is just a Giga Cleave cryo target ad. Fun fight. Here we go. So this side got him to 65%, so he's in the middle. You'll notice this is kind of a really bad transition time right here for them. They're coming back to the boss, 65%. Because there's a dude with a shielded over here, so that's really unfortunate timing. This group cannot rotate till the shield is dead. It's kind of awkward. So it's actually, it looks like it's 35%, not 65%, so I'm mistaken on that. But there's one mechanic, there's a soak mechanic that happens in this phase, I think that's relevant. And we're just going to do the one group soaks and the other group soaks. That's exactly what we'll do. So this group got here first, so we'll say this is right group or left group. I don't know which one I'll name this one when I get there, but that group will do the first soak in this mechanic. You just literally cleave these ads down, you ignore them. Rocks are now useless, I believe. Here's the slam. So this is the slam that the first group needs to get soaked. You'll get a debuff when you go in it. Boom. You can't soak one for another minute. So then we just rotate two groups. Simple as that. When this soak happens, so this soak happens when actually, I can go over this real quick. He's at 100 energy. He does this charge. So that's when you'll have your Q to go and stack. Depending how many people he hits and how much damage he does to those people, his energy will go down. So if we sent like 4 people over here to ice block with a tank, he might, I don't know the percent, but he could only go down, let's say 5 energy because the people who are ice block take no damage. And so if he only goes down that amount of energy, then he's just going to charge right again when he gets to 100. So that would be really bad. So immunities at this part aren't really great. But they did a good charge, and I think he's down to, yeah, he's quite low. Charges really fast.
He heals a whole lot more now in P2.
Yeah, there you go. But that's it. That's the whole mechanic. Just don't stand on the front. Tanks will face him this way. We go the other way. Don't stand on fire. Another charge. This would be second group. But he's spell queued here, so he never actually casts it. Don't know if the spell queuing still exists, live or not.
You'll definitely get it because he, instead of healing 10%, he now heals 35%.
Yeah, more so. I'm just thinking maybe he'll just like pry out the spell queue. Like as soon as he hit 100, he'll charge instead of just being like, oh, I have 4 more mechanics to do before I actually do that. But that's it. Cool. Anyone got questions on that? It's just an AoE pad fight pretty much. Oh, and there's supposedly dispels, so go priests. You got another fight under your belt. Alright, Rashok. What fucking fight is this?
That's the one in the. You gotta go in the middle.
Oh yeah. No,
Boss, dude. This one looks sick.
This is such a cool boss.
yeah, so this one is, I'll just put a markdown as we go around the room. You put your big circle on the, I guess we're looking at his energy or something. You, yeah, so you put these big circles around the room. When they drop, puddles come out of them, and they come out for the rest of the fight. We'll work our way around one. I'll put a mark down, you just drop it on the mark. Okay, very, very simple. When you drop it, puddles do spawn. Be careful not to drop it and charge through your own puddle, because then you'll get double ticked and you'll take a lot of damage. Tank mechanic here, Lyric, I don't think Marge is here, no, is he has to be in the middle circle before he hits 100 energy. Okay? If you bring him in before he hits 100 energy, he just starts like, he just starts his transition phase. This is a big healing check here, so we're probably going to try and wing healing CDs and then flex them as we go. Obviously, I can...
Mythic for this one, does it still only a certain amount of times you can drain a shield?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. But yeah, this is literally the entire fight. And that's what it'll be. The idea, the mythic strat is you're going to keep him, instead of on the wall, you keep him more towards the middle, I believe. I believe that's the plan I have. Yep. Or take to the edge. We probably won't take to the edge because I don't feel like it's really much value. We'll just leave him in the middle. Go all the way around. For Mythic, boss targets a player and spawns 2 random pools. The player needs to run over 1. Don't care what that is yet. Don't understand for myself, but we can cross that when we get there. Doesn't sound like it's too bad.
Do you know if anything happens if a player runs into one of the fire circles with an immunity and puts another circle on top of one?
If you drop a circle on top of a pre-existing circle, one-shots the raid like it just showed right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we cannot...
How dare you try and big brain this?
Yeah, you cannot just overlap stack all of them, unfortunately. Would be dope, though. Oh, stand in this. There you go. That's the whole fight. Pretty simple. Yeah. Yeah.
There's an Anduin mechanic too. I don't know if it's only mythic, but
I think
after this, you have to clear debuffs.
Yeah, that's a mythic mechanic. That's mythic.
Look at the healing.
I believe.
Are you sure? They're not in mythic.
I haven't seen it here. Did you see it?
Oh, so do it right now.
This one? Oh yeah, they clear it in the middle. Yeah, you're right, you're right. This is oh yeah, that is Anduin. That's mythic Anduin, right?
Final phase Anduin.
Yeah, P3, whatever. Was that in Heroic too? No, you didn't clear it in Heroic, right? You only cleared it in Mythic.
Oh, but that video seems to be Heroic. And look at the healing.
This is a super healing intensive fight, for sure.
Heroic you just cleared, it was Mythic you had to ping it into somebody, I thought.
Yeah, that's true. That's correct. You had to soak some.
They APT this one.
It's gonna be interesting.
Oak puddles. I want to see the debuff. I haven't seen it yet. And I don't know when you get one.
It's when you soak. You do the.
When you do that? When you soak these puddles, you get a debuff? We should see.
No, the big one.
Oh, this one.
The tank frontal.
Oh, the big one.
The tank frontal one.
But not everyone gets a debuff then, right?
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah, when the tank does the frontal, everyone gets the debuff.
I don't know which frontals you guys are talking about.
Yeah, we'll have to spin it.
He has a charge smash that has to be split among people so he doesn't gain energy, and on Mythic it puts a debuff on people that you have to clear.
Oh, on Mythic it puts a debuff.
Yeah, but everyone has to be in it because he gains more energy to, like, the least people there's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another no immunity everyone stack mechanic.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a good healing fight, so we'll see that one. Won't be too many pulls. It's very simple mechanics overall. But yeah, it looks like you can only drain the boss 3 times, and it's a wipe if he ever reaches full energy. Okay? So I think that's what you're asking before, Lyric. Someone confirmed that for you, but...
Oh no, I knew that one.
Yeah, perfect. Alright, Skarn with a Z. Oh, I hate these fights. Oh, this is the Painsmith fight. Okay. So this fight is going to be carried by myself, and I don't even know if Karm's here. He's not. So this will probably be a hunter carry fight. So the way this works is, and we're going to have to explain this to Marge when he gets here, is the boss will activate traps, 2 closest to him and 1 random one. Okay, ignore these bombs for now. Here they come, traps. Boom. 2 close to the boss, 1 fucking random one. Okay, this is always how it is every single time. These traps spawn really fucking quick. Okay, we'll see it again. This is the cast time going off. The cast just finished. 23 seconds. Trap spawn, 24 seconds. If you are in this red when they spawn, you immediately get a debuff, a ticking fire debuff. Boom. Okay, and if you stand in both, like you stand in there, you get 2 debuffs, and it ticks. MDs will obviously be super powerful here, and that's how that works. These bombs need to be soaked, generally by an off-tank or by people with immunes. So Turtle, Spell Warding works. I don't know if Bop works. Bop would not work, I would imagine. Yeah, because I think it's Spell Mechanic. That's pretty much it. The whole idea is, and these will expand as they go. Okay, these traps. So what do we do with this? An ad spawns. Boom.
It's physical, the bombs.
The bombs? Okay, so they can be bopped. Perfect. I heard they can be spell warded as well. I didn't know spell.
If they're physical, they can't. Only bop.
Okay.
Which
Well,
would be better, 'cause you'd have more pallets.
Of course, yeah.
Well, I don't.
I could probably evasion it, maybe? Don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
For science, for
It's
sure.
not too bad. Normally it's an off-tank mechanic, really more than anything. So these ads come in, they just have to be interrupted. They spawn around the room. Range will interrupt the far ones. We can grip them, obviously. We'll have a couple DKs, Pog. They're kind of irrelevant. You can CC them on Mythic. We probably most definitely will have to and kill them in a certain order. On Heroic, it seemed like from what this guild did, you just fucking slam them and kill them. They die really fast. When these dudes die, you can loot one. And it'll give you a clickable item that can let you diffuse traps. Sorry, I want to show it to you. Boo, this guy Turtle still get 1 on the fire, but he still ends up taking debuff dots, even with Turtle, which is bad, but he gets dispelled, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's because... So tanks... Well, I guess, Lyric, if you ever need help, you can always call, and that's kind of how I plan to do that. Okay, so he looted this guy. He's like, oh my god, I want to get rid of this trap. So he picks it up, he gets an extra action button. This literally is just... It just says, like, defuse a fucking trap, okay? So he just... Probably shouldn't do this one. That would be really bad. He does this one anyway. Boom. Turns the trap off. Okay? Now with this trap off, boss will go back and hug the old set here. Because he will do another one. And start the 2 closest to here. He does a knockback. The one mechanic that you have to do that will kill your raid, and it's actually shown right at the end, is this mechanic here. So, I believe when there's fire pools around these, he will light these up, and they will do this frontal cone ability. So imagine this is just splash damage. Thing you have to keep in mind is this visual is not accurate to how far this actually goes out. It's not even close. Okay? So, like, you're not safe if you're standing where the square guy is, and you'll see a good example of it towards the end, I think. A priest dies. Priest players, Pog.
It gets bigger and bigger, right?
Yep. Yeah, so pools expand, and then this gets bigger and bigger. But you'll see here, so we're right at the end. Here's the visual. This guy's healing. Like, he's pretty fucking safe, right? And he's dead.
Show that again?
Sure.
BS.
Yeah. It's a tilter. So they're rotating.
Blizzard range too.
They're rotating across the room. They're like min-maxing as far as they can. They're darknessing here. This guy's like, oh, I'm just gonna him because I'm like so safe. Look how fuck I'm like 15 yards from this fucking animation, and I'm dead.
Stop bullying this poor priest, man.
You can see the animation shootout.
Yeah, but if you see it shoot out like this, it's over. You're dead already, right? Like, it's more so this animation that's like, he's like, oh, I'm super safe because it hasn't gone off yet. He's yeah. So that's really it. That's like the one-shot mechanic of this fight, and they use, and I don't think we're gonna use this to be honest, but this is probably the mythic. They start these pillars that are skulls here, and they're gonna start planting, and then they're gonna ping pong across with the blast wave, so they get knocked this way, and then they put some over here, and then they get knocked back, and then they clear some over here. This really all comes down to just managing which traps you're diffusing and which ones you're igniting. So it's really like a raid lead carry fight, and as long as we have a couple of people who understand how to do traps, then this fight falls over. If we have no one who understands how to do traps, myself included, then this fight will be ever living shit-faced. But yeah, if you're the lucky person who has no rolls on this fight and just slam your face into the boss and follow it around, then lucky you. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Ping across room.
Ping across room. That's right. That's right. But I don't think we'll do that on heroic because the mechanic didn't seem like it pinged very far. But this is obviously where it gets scary, right? This last little burn phase, you fire fucking everywhere. Traps are going off in the middle of the room. It's just a race against time. It's like a soft enrage, sort of. And I think there is a soft enrage on this guy. I don't know if it's what it is, but there might not be.
It's the traps.
Just the traps, yeah. But I thought there was another one, but I could be wrong. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so that'll be fun. This is supposed to like the Paintsmith. This will be a hard fight, I think. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. I guess it depends on tuning, but it looks like it'll be a hard one. Alright, second last boss that we're going to cover. We're not covering Sarkareth because it's a waste of time. Fucking three-headed dude, I think, right? Margamax? Yep.
Doggo.
Big doggo. Another full single target boss, so yep, that's cool. What did I put here? Pure single target. Oh yeah, so drops fire puddles on the ground. Soak fire puddles gives you debuff. Good news, Mythic debuff does not fall off. I think it's like a 10-minute debuff or a permanent debuff. On Heroic, though, and Normal, obviously, the debuff will just time out. So multiple people stand in it, puddle shrinks quicker. All right? So this guy stands in with a friend. He comes out with 7 stacks. And now you just wait 20 seconds till you soak again. Okay? Take circles out, drop them. New people go in, soak new ads. He won't soak here because he's want to wait for his to soak. Sort of like last boss. There's eventually these will overwhelm you and kill you. But yeah, on this fit,
to help with soaking.
I mean, it certainly wouldn't hurt, right? Like if this guy dropped it close, you could just pull the boss there. It would never hurts.
Be aware that if the boss ever touches Magma Pool, though, he gains energy exponentially, then you will win.
Yeah, it's the soft enrage. So don't get by breath. So this guy spawned random stuff. You saw that, like those 2 pools spawned over there, no one dropped. From when I was watching the video today, it sounded like that didn't happen anymore. I don't know how accurate that is. It must happen because if you took those away, like this fight becomes disgustingly easy.
No longer happen.
Oh really?
There's soaks instead now.
Oh, they're just soaks instead. Okay.
If you don't soak, it leaves a puddle.
Gotcha.
If the amount of stack that you're gonna get is proportional of like the number of people you're in it.
Yeah, well, the pool will shrink based on how many people are in it. So if you were to soak one by yourself, it would go down really slow and you get a lot of stacks. If you have 3 people in it, it goes, we'll say, I don't know what the speed difference is, 3 times faster, so you'll take a third of the amount of stacks, I think is the idea.
Like, is the speed like the same as the speed of the stacks? Like, if
yes.
You soak alone, you
yes.
Get 10 stacks,
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
for
so
my
it's the same thing.
For my testing that I did on VCR, if you have more than 6 stacks, you cannot beneficially soak it anymore. So multiple people will need to soak every single one.
I mean, yeah, well, a ton of people, it should be free.
Because on Mythic, you say it's a permanent stack, right?
It is on Mythic, yeah. There's a way to clear it, but I don't remember how at this moment in time.
Like, if the shrink is not fast enough, then you end up getting more overall stacks if you have more people in it. You know what I mean?
Each pool has a fixed amount of stacks, Barry, and it's just the amount of people who is how fast the pool
so
goes away.
yeah, what it is actually on where do you write it down? Is it on here? No, is it on here? There's a 20. Okay, so 25 stack limit in Heroic, 50 stack in Mythic.
I see.
At stack limit, will one shot you.
Yeah, Yeah, but this is the amount of stack you're able to soak. That's not the amount of stack you pull, depending
Yeah,
on
each-
how many you are in it. You know.
The pool has a number of soaks to stack off of it.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it has like let's say 10 debuff stacks, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
But the pool can also grow. So if you don't touch that pool, it will gain stacks for you to shrink out. But from what we should see, I think on heroic. Oh, the boss also eventually starts spawning them quicker, I believe. The longer the fight goes. And what will happen towards the end is you'll just slowly be killing the boss, and you'll say, like, this puddle's really fucking large. You know, boss at 37, we're not going to soak this puddle anymore. This is a ramping fight. This does something, some sort of ramping damage, I'm sure. So you can only soak so many. This guy's taking a giga stack here. He's got to be dead. Nope, he's alive. Pog him. But yeah, so by the end, you just keep soaking, and you just slowly run out of room. Knockbacks get really scary. One thing to keep in mind that he's thinking in Mythic, because when you get the room like this in Mythic, you'll actually probably use this gate to ignore the, or a gate, not this one, to ignore the knockback. And the way you do that is you would know when the knockback mechanic is coming out. He's not targeting the boss, so I can't see when the boss casts. But you would gate before that goes off, right? And then you don't get knocked back. But
at least on PTR, you can do that for every knockback.
Oh, really? Only comes out once every 2 minutes?
Yeah.
There you go.
At least that's what they were saying when Max and Dratnos were talking about.
That would be interesting if that's the case, because that would literally destroy that mechanic. So.
Yep.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, this is heroic for them. I don't think this is mythic, and it's really fucking tight. So I expect this to continue. So we just have to calm and know when we can beat the damage check, but it shouldn't be too bad for us.
Could we overlap the puddle stacks if we knew we let's say like you said the big one you don't soak it.
Yeah.
Could we drop like 3 puddles at the same spot?
On top of each other?
Overlap? Yeah, so that way you take less space, you don't have to soak it.
If you like try to soak it later, then you'll start getting, instead of 1 stack per soak, you'll get 3. And like as they expand, you might just walk onto a spot and it might give you like 10 stacks instantly.
Yeah, so keep in mind like as they spread too, right, Barry? So you're gonna get knocked. Let's say if we do gate everyone, the knockback is irrelevant. But if this knockback happened and you got knocked into fucking 8 puddles and just took an 8 stack twice, like you're just dead.
Yeah,
so.
I totally agree.
Excuse me.
Said, like this puddle we don't soak it, so if you don't soak 1 puddle, it just
You're right. I mean, that is right in a sense, depending how the fight works and how the knockback mechanic works.
Okay.
It could be a risk or reward. It could also be really safe. It can kind of go both ways. And you can't see how many are on top of each other. They all look the same. Like, these guys just rot out running across puddles, right? Like you can sort of see that here, actually. Knockback mechanic happens. And this guy's a paladin, so he's dead. Oh no, he bubbles. He's better. This guy's dead. A priest. What a noob. Picking a priest.
Priest hate going on tonight. I don't know how I feel about that.
Alright, next boss, Neltharion. This one, actually, we don't really know what this boss is going to look like, because they've made changes to the boss and no one knows really what the changes are. So we'll go over it real quick, and people can correct me as I'm wrong, because I've watched this fight a few times. And
I posted a clip of Temerity doing it the very last time they got to test it, and they actually got through P3. It's only on normal, so you won't be able to select the mythic.
oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't seen the. I actually didn't look at P3, but the idea is that you keep it in the middle, I believe, and then you slowly break walls. So from what I understand, people correct me if I'm wrong, this darkness thing will push people through walls and break walls. I think, correct me if I'm wrong again, this is irrelevant, right? The only one that matters that you break is the tank one for where you're gonna go. Let's see. Oh, dude, I don't care about this. Yes, they break walls. We understand that. Okay, so then the tank gets knocked back here. Okay, we didn't get to see it.
Yeah, the ready check pull, they talk about pulling him to a
This.
edge, but their VOD is just in the center the whole time, so it might not be very helpful.
That's okay. Yeah. So this is the tank knockback one, and this is where the tank will get. So it looks like they're going to blue first. Their tank will get knocked to where they're going. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he does get knocked where they're going, but you have to taunt immediately because he gets like a giga fucking big debuff. So you just taunt, and then they'll pull him. He does these fire puddles. They spawn. That's when you move into your next zone. So they're going blue. So fire puddle spawns. And now they're going to be in the new zone in blue. New fire puddle spawns. They go to the next zone beside it, and they just go around the room. Yeah. Don't die. This is F2. They get a new pattern around the room of walls. So these ads have a. So this is what I understand from how these ads work. They spawn, but no one can hit them till the shield breaks on them. Does that sound right? And only certain people on heroic. Yes. Yeah, we're talking about heroic. Yes. So not everyone can hit them right away. Some people will be turned into enemies and be able to hit this. Okay, but you do not want to kill them. So. This guy over here, or is that a tank? They can already hit him. We can't see. Oh, there's the shield. I don't know. Anyway, so don't kill your friends when they turn into enemies. This guy here, don't kill him. But he's actually going to go and hit one of the other ads, I believe, is the idea of it. Yep, so he gets knocked back, and then he would continue. Oh, here we go. So there's a big shield. This guy can hit the shield. No one else can. And he has to kill the shield before his team can hit it. Okay? This is the person who has the debuff. That's how you know. Generally, so you take the boss off to the side. This guy can hit the add-on by himself. This and a few other people. It's not just one person. Some classes are really good at this. Some classes are awful. If you're a pet class, your pets also can be killed. So you might need to move them off the boss. From what I heard, when the guy played BM on this fight, he literally had to tell his pet to move away from the boss when he got targeted, or else they would just get immediately cleaved and destroyed. And of course you can resummon it and whatever, but that's kind of a pain, and it's just easier to move your pet. It spawns, you move them together, that's it. Right, knockback still happens. But I'm pretty sure that's mostly it.
Well, there's the LOS mechanic.
Which mechanic is that? This? No.
You see, there's people who will have little red arrows over their heads.
Oh, they have the LOS?
Yeah, I see them. A guy over there to the right. You have to. That's why you have to break open the walls earlier, is because like 3 or something people.
Gotcha.
Those guys right there.
These guys? Oh, these are the knockback guys.
No, those are the knockback ones.
It was before that. There were red. It was the red arrows before that. These guys.
Yeah, and if any other players are in LOS of those red players, then they basically get one shot. So they have to go and like hide around the corner where they're.
It looks like they also have to LOS each other for what that's worth as well, because these guys die.
Yep. Yeah, that's why you have to kind of break the walls in specific spots so that you can use the angles.
So that's only on Mythic. On Heroic, it's just a 15-yard AOE around those players. So
oh, cool.
Okay.
But
perfect.
On Mythic, it's LOS.
Perfect. That's a future problem then. A very future problem for us. P3, don't... I guess we can look at the temerity. Yeah, this guy says no footage of P3. Let's see. Rise should have one in the channel. Maybe we can all take a quick gander. Just over my 1 hour. Where are you, Rise? Oh, you didn't link it. Oh, no, wait, this is the wrong boss. I'm on fucking Zakili or whatever the fuck this boss is. There we go. Oh, this must be it here. Is this the start of P3? No way.
This is a little later into P3.
Yeah, I want to see the start.
There you go.
Oh, there won't be any of these portals, right? Before.
Well, he
this
breaks
is
the
it.
walls. Yeah.
This is P3. So the boss starts slamming walls. Okay. You also get knocked back and slam walls, I believe. Yep. Same. That goes throughout the whole fight. You spawn these portals. From what I understand, I don't know actually what I understand in this phase. I thought if you go in the portals, you go into like the dark side.
Yeah,
or something.
It's like a massive Bane cast on Rygalon. Like there'll be a mechanic that you enter the portal to avoid.
Okay.
But there'll be ads that you want to AoE from the portals. It's just going to be a fuck ton of ads the whole time, basically.
I didn't break any walls.
Very few guilds saw P3, so it could change. A lot of things could be different.
We'll know more about this when we get to it. We won't see this till Monday anyway. On Heroic, at least. What's he casting? What was that cast? So he casts Ebon Destruction. You have to be in a puddle. My guess here is that when you're on Mythic, you can only have a certain amount of people per puddle.
There'll be 20 portals on Mythic.
Will there? Okay.
That's what
It
Max
doesn't
said,
look
yeah,
like
so
that's the same here. Maybe.
it'll be one per
So
person
a
in the
Raglan
raid.
type boss then?
Yeah,
Has their own
like a
portal?
Raglan mechanic at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it'll just be assigning people in a fucking raid plan where they're gonna soak. If there's
I mean, if the portal is
Let's
random.
hope they're not random.
Yeah, it's based on where the walls are, actually, is where they spawn. Where the walls break is where they spawn. But I'm not quite sure how the walls are chosen to be broken. But I don't think we'll really have to care about that. But that's it. Obviously, it's just like cleave your fucking face off, right? But funnel is key.
I mean, if they have a timer, like
Balanced.
you could lose by breaking too many walls early. I don't know if that.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't think you can break like all the walls at once.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. Looks like he does it every 100 energy. He does this Ebon Destruction. See if he can share with anyone. Nope, he gets his own. But this is obviously the enrage, right? Because he'll run out of soaks. So they have to kill him before he gets to 100 energy at 13%, right? Or does he spawn more portals? Or maybe they just have such a small raid they can actually do it.
And the portals just spawn when he's near a wall. It breaks that wall and turns it into a portal.
So whenever he's near it, there's no certain mechanic behind it. He just
No, it's just if you drag him next to a wall, it'll disintegrate into a portal.
Okay.
Phase 3 is what the journal says.
Gotcha.
Or said.
Yeah, so we'll have to feel that out. We'll know more tomorrow, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you have questions or anything or any of these videos, this one's not in it, I'll add it. But those are all in this raid plan. But again, tomorrow we'll do the first 3 non-tier bosses.